So I'm just going to mute the audio because it's rather painful to my ears. And anyway, welcome aboard, guys. Sorry about that. We're now on the...
Are you sure?
Ow! Crikey almighty, can I turn him down, please? Anyway, sorry about that. So we're now on the ground, as I was saying, in Exeter, in the south west of the UK. And we're about to jump into our Dash 8 Q400 for a quick flight up to Newcastle, up in the northeast. Back home where we belong. Okay, I'm just going to get Easy Dock, it seems to have disappeared itself again. I'm going to go to the PIC's view. So I'm just going to clear the water cautions and get the aircraft ready. So, these can come on. And we don't need to do the 24-hour systems check and things like that because the aircraft is already powered when we got it. And I'm just going to... we just switched the FMCs off because we were sitting on the ground for half an hour between flights. So, powered by the APU currently. Bleeds can go to min for the start. Bleeds can both come on. Packs can go to automatic. Seatbelt sign bing bongs can go on. Let's see what this audio is like. That's okay. It's not deafening me anymore. Bus tie goes to tide. And that is me pretty much covered. So I'm waiting for the power up the CDU now. And we can get this ready. So I'm going to flight plan. Echo Golf Tango Echo. Enter. Now, wind's currently set us up for departure. I'm just going to do the departure, I suppose, from runway 08, which is number 1. We haven't got an SID to follow. After this, we're going to Exmoor. Which is just turning out to the north. I'm just going to now go on to the... then we go on the airway. So it's click... list and no, it's not that. Sorry guys, it's been a while since I've been in the Dash, as you know. So anyway, okay, this could be problems. I might have tactically... oh no, I'm not completely the gap. I don't want a gap in place. Menu. Forgotten how to fly the Dash. This is embarrassing. Okay. Yeah. Flight plan. Click onto here. And from Exmoor, we're going to go to Numpo, then Brecon. Numpo, then Brecon. Can actually mute the audio for a little while. After that, we are going to go decas, and right, let's quickly try this one more time because there we go, airway. That wasn't available before, and it's the 9864 all the way up to waypoint Nitton, which is just next to Liverpool. That's waypoint number 9. Okay, after this, we're going to go list airways again. From Nitton, we're going to take the Papa 17 to Paul Hill. And Paul Hill number 4 there. And then after that, it's a quick jaunt up to Papa 18 as far as Gurley. Sorry I'm not showing the flight plan, but there's just no point me flashing it you around so much. Number 5, it goes all the way to Natab, which I've just lost here. Yeah, Natab, which is number 11. But Natab's actually on the aerodrome at Newcastle, so it would screw us up for any arrivals. So we're going to go to Talbot, actually. Number 10. That hasn't inserted, has it? That's a bit of a seems to have been a bit of a mistake there. Right, I'm just going to delete these because that doesn't look right to me. Okay, then I'm going to go list, airways, Papa 18, which is number 5, to Gurley, which is number 9. Might just be a glitch in the ARAC. Yeah, that's a bit better. Then after that we can just install EGNT. Looks good. Okay, now we can go to do perf. No, it's not perf, it's fuel. So, passengers on board, we have 73 POB today, with 250 kilograms of cargo. And our alternate fuels, again guys, actually I can't really attach the OFP, I'll scroll through it later on slowly to show you guys it. Anyway, where was I? Sorry, I'm getting distracted again. So our alternate fuel is 451. Our contingency fuel of 30 minutes is 426. Our extra is 0. And our total fuel on board is 1040 due to APU burn, and 1055. There we go, return. So our gross weight on there works out the same as our gross weight on the paperwork, which is pretty good. Actually works out a little on the lighter side. So our gross weight's 25518, so we can put this into the Avlosoft EFB, which is what I'll actually show you guys on just 1 second. So just need to swing the Avlosoft EFB to record in different mode, not Avlosoft, yeah, it's Aurasim EFB. Very good tool to have. Taking off from runway 08 we said, flap 5 should be sufficient, anti-ice was going to be off for the takeoff, no reductions, we'll just get the weather installed, and the runway condition was dry. So our takeoff weight, we go back to the sim for that, was 25517. 255, actually 25 tons, 500 kilograms will make it for the takeoff. And just calculate that. So that gives us V1 124, V-rotate 124, V2 126, V-fry 136. So we just need to quickly install that now. In the meantime, I'm going to request boarding to initiate. Oops. And I'm just going to quickly scroll 124, 124, 126. Now I'm going to set the decision height bug to 1000 because that's going to be our acceleration point. I should set it to 800 feet radalt. And then we need to go speed set again because I should have set V-fry there of 136. Which is the speed we cannot retract the flaps below. Okay, we'll now do the briefing with the Festa crew. So it's a gated departure, no ASDEX, LNAV, sorry, it'll be heading select actually. And anti-ice not required, flaps 5, vectors, end top bleeds, no concerns.
Are you ready for the departure briefing?
Go ahead.
This will be a standard left seat departure. We're at a gate and pushback is required, so you will be handling the engine start. The departure runway and taxi route will be assigned by ATC. For the taxi, this airport does not use ASDEX, so leave the transponder off the taxi. Pilot flying nav source for the departure will be heading select. Anti-ice is not required today. As for the takeoff plan, we'll use flaps 5. For the routing itself, the departure will be by ATC vectors. We'll use end top for the takeoff power, and the bleeds will be on. For the safety brief, any abnormality prior to 80 knots, I'll stop the aircraft on the runway. After 80 knots, I'll stop for an engine failure or fire. Anything after V1 will take it airborne. You let the tower know and we'll need a straight out. At 1000 feet, we'll engage altitude hold, accelerate to V climb, retract the flaps, engage IAS mode for our V-climb, and complete the memory items. Any questions?
That's checked, and no questions.
Departure briefing complete.
Okay, so it's the departure brief over. I'm just going to reorder my desk a bit. There we go. Now we'll go to this and just have a look at the conditions actually at EGTE, which is Exeter. Now, as you can see, our QNH is 1025. We need to ident that in just a second. We are injecting the sim, which is pretty cool. Variable wind at 8, still prominently for a 08 departure, and that looks good. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll the bug to 1025 hectopascals, as advised by the system, and okay. Once passenger boarding completes, we've got the doors closed and we'll go. Now, I should probably hit pre.
Hi Captain, how are you today? I'm out for the walk around.
Hi guys, can we start boarding now?
Back
Yes.
from the walk around, everything looks good. Stand by. Stand by.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
Check.
Go ahead. Yes. Right. And we can quickly click through that. We're pretty much sorted now. We'll just go on the altitude bug. There's being at 7,000, going up to a cruising altitude of 24,000. When we get up to altitude, I'm just going to swing the recording mode back into FSX. Okay. So, I'm just going to quickly configure the runway. Heading into the heading select mode. So I'm going to pull the chart up again, no drill. If you want to find it, it's available on the NAT's website. It's heading 079 on the heading select bug. Yeah, so it's a nearly from 90-degree turn to the left to intercept. Okay, now source is going to go to FMS 1. There we go. Better idea.
May I take your code, please?
Boarding in progress. He's just doing his originating checks, even though we don't need to do them. Anyway, boarding is pretty much complete at our end. The passengers, I think, are still boarding the aircraft. It's 73 to get on board. And we can't board through the rear doors for various technical reasons of GSX. The aircraft's powered by APU, so switch the audio on. See if we can hear a verbal in the background there. Service size, literally robust. Back hood. Service side does no longer exist, but yeah. Anyway, as I said, we're going to push out. Part with you guys, I suppose. Go and take off from over there. So we're going to push out, start engines, both engines, not a single engine, taxi out, and coming on that. So the bottom runway. And going out of that runway. We'll look at the middle of the end of the runway, but that's not too.
May I take your code, please? Thank you.
I'm going to pause the recording here whilst he actually gets himself sorted. And we'll come back once he's ready to go. So, Mr. Crew wasn't on this. Okay, apparently it was.
May I take your code, please? Thank you.
Okay, so I'm back. Apparently Mr. Crew wasn't going to sort itself out ever. So we're just going to get ready for the push and start. Perfect, push back and start. Close the doors. And we'll start once we push it. Close. Door and the cargo door. All the doors are closed. It's part of our plan for push.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
The rest of this will come to life when we start the engines. Subscirbe search and rescue from all over the country.
Locking gear.
It's got the most wonderful access walk out.
Can you take your code, please?
So,
Thank you.
break these.
Departure check completed. Light has been inserted. Release parking brake. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Obviously we can't start push that because the both the dash. And update my dash height recently, so. I'm going to turn this either. It's just glitched. So we'll get stopped, tail of grass, and then we'll draw our own turn. Yeah, that's going to be the easiest option. Right, and just run the front up.
Can you take your code, please? Thank you.
Set parking brake.
Okay, so what they're doing there. Oh, we've got practice start. Practice start with 2 there. I know my comments are up, but there's no point in the help. Turn it on just so we can get into my race. Stop. Whilst you do some stuff, I'm just going to stop us here. Push the buttons. Now that we're not putting up with first officer speaking to us.
Can you take your code, please? Thank you.
Okay, start at 1. The feather is armed.
Unlocking gear.
There's no necessarily should have been on.
Tow truck disconnected. Light has been removed.
Chronograph this time. Where's he off to? I'm sure going to give us the wave, not realising I want to turn his way.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Okay.
Can you take your code, please?
Clear to start engines.
Again, I'm just using the aircraft. And it's slightly switching for us to turn us around. And bring us down the tank side. Chicane. We are chicaning now. I'm sorry, but that audio is just frustrating me now. So I'm going to have to completely mute the sim because it's just stupid. Sounds like a bit of a fast taxi going on too at the minute, but it's well within the bounds for a safe taxi, just fast. Okay, so we'll go through before takeoff flows. So I'm just going to put slight reverse thrust in there. Taxi light we don't need anymore. To white, to position. Transponder is on. Okay, that's actually remarkably well stopped by the aircraft. We are clear on the approach. I'm going to do a stop on the runway, then we'll roll. Even though I know doing the rolling departure is probably more advisable here, but I don't really care. As long as I'm comfortable with the departure, that's the main thing. So, sorry that the sim's fully muted, guys, but I've tried to record this 3 times now, and it's gone wrong every single time. Is this 08? Yes, this is 08. This one's poorly marked runway. No, it's not. This is 08. So it's another 90-degree turn to get into the runway. We're actually facing our departure. I think this is probably in a disused runway that we're on now. So I'm just going to pull into the centre of the runway. Let's go. Okay, full power. Let's go. Actually, not full power. Stop. Stop! Gust lock off. Right, let's go. And flaps just gonna come from there 5. Yeah, let's go. $60 knots, check. Whoa. Did you see that? The P factor is real. River 1, rotate. Go positive right. Gear up. Okay, IAS mode till 1,000. We haven't reached 1,000 yet. Once I get the autopilot on, I will retrim the rudder. But I can't do that, obviously, until I get the autopilot on. That's minimums passed. Autopilot. IAS, and I'll just nose forward, so maybe 160 knots a climb. We are passing V-fry, so flaps up, and props back to 900. I'm now also going to take this and start making some slight adjustments. Right, wrong one. Okay, we can now go to nav mode and alt cell. Okay, we can then pretend we've been cleared straight up to cruising altitude of 24,000 feet. It's a pretty busy departure in this aircraft. set. Approaching transition. Just looking over our left shoulder though, should be able to see the airport. No, okay, maybe not. I think it's just disappearing behind that cloud. Anyway. Heading select bug coming around. Should be 90 degrees off our left wing now. Yeah, it's behind that cloud. We're airborne. That's 5,000. So I'll bing bong the seatbelt sign. And that'll release the cabin crew from their seats. Okay. I suppose we can also stick weather radar on standby. We should have done that before takeoff technically, but there's no point having the weather radar running on a day like today. It's just pointless. You don't need it. And we're out of here. 6 minutes into the 6 minutes from push, and we're already at 7,000 feet. It's the joys of flying from small airports. 2 degrees, so we could expect some icing in this cloud. Okay, I'm gonna gunny. I'm gonna first thing I'm gonna do is put the past transition altitude there, so that can just take us straight down to standby. There we go, 1013 hectopascals, 8,000 feet, speed up to 200, yeah, IS 200 knots, 210 is probably a better speed to go for, but 200 is sufficient. Landing lights off, remaining lights stay on, My windshield heat goes to warm up. First officer's windshield heat is already running. FMNTS not required. Bus tie can be untied now. And everything else around here looks sensible. Bleeds to norm. And yep, that's us pressurising correctly now. Bleeds are on check. Recirc fan should have been on. There we go. I suppose we can use the FO's window as an indication of icing, because he doesn't have heat on his. So that is 10,000 feet there, folks. So I'm going to cut the video here and see you at top of drop approaching Newcastle. See you then, folks. Bye bye. Top of dropping, well, near enough top of dropping for Newcastle. So we're just overflying Pole Hill, and we can look at the arrival for Newcastle, as I said. So I say last waypoint's Gurley, and then it's 20 miles to the south of Newcastle. So it's just telling us. We can jump in here, do the arrival. Now runway, it's going to be 25 today for landing. We don't have stars, but we do have an approach at Newcastle. It'll be the ILS 25 approach. So we can put that in, just say flight plan. And then what I'm actually going to do, I think, is leave that no link in for a change. Because if I... Actually, no, I'm not going to... I'm just going to kind of radar vector myself onto the end of the ILS, which is what they do in the real world. So, yeah. And obviously I have to... It's 5 minutes, so about 10 miles. It's going to be more than 10 miles. It's about 20 miles apart, so I'm just going to start the descent just before Gurley, actually. So maybe overhead Tilney, which we can't even see yet. So I'm going to cut the video here, folks. I'm going to see you back when we're at top of drop. See you then, folks. Bye bye. Come back, we're about at top of drop, so we'll scroll our altitude selector down to 2000, which will be the altitude we go to. Then we can just engage IAS mode, present speed, pull ourselves back to just above flight idle, and then we'll take heading select and we'll radar vector ourselves out a bit. Actually, we'll take the radar vectoring from Gurley. Alt cell is armed, and as I say, once we reach Gurley, I'll radar vector us. Actually, no, I'm going to radar vector us to there. It's a little bit on the early side for radar vectoring, but I can. There's nothing wrong with that. You'd be doing it in the real world probably anyway. Okay, so we've started descending, so the seatbelt sign's going on. And we've cleared the icing now, so that can come off. That went on just about 2 minutes ago. Also, our VREF, I've calculated that as being 118 knots today. Which is a nice slow approach speed. I don't think we'll even have to use wheel braking on the approach. I can also start swinging things over in this field. So as I said, it'll be the ILS 25 approach. Start on a frequency of travel 1.5. There we go, and the course today is 248. There we go. So as I may have mentioned, quite a good flight we've had today. Active Skynex has been taking care of the weather. The scenery at Exeter is by a scenery development group, which I still can't remember the name of. And we've just been going for 50 minutes, so it's almost an hour's perfect gate-to-gate time, which I think is pretty good. Okay, another thing we can do as part of our approach prep is set the decision bug to 180 feet, which is the decision bug for the approach. .180. There we go. So, as I said, flaps 15 for the landing, but it's been a pretty good flight actually. I quite like flying the Dash, and I've been away from it for quite some time. But it's still a very enjoyable aircraft to fly. It always comes down to the thump. I think that's just a reality of flying the Dash 8, sadly. Yeah. Flight idle. If I turn audio on, I'm just going to test it because it's pretty okay. Both sides of my earphones in because it felt weird not hearing anything through when I left in. There we go. So 24 DME. That is Sunderland. So we are a little bit on the high side, but not too bad. go in the external view. Okay, left, so one way left. Neutral. I go neutral from that sort of. Anyway, 22 DMA to land. And I'm going to configure this just to take us direct to the centre base, which is waypoint number 24. We've got 4 minutes until the aircraft thinks we're going to be getting to that point, so actually we're going to radar back to outbound a bit more, just to let us lose some of this altitude. 52 minutes into flight. As I said, we'll leave that sudden just because the layout of the port. Newcastle's up that way. I also shut that MCDU down. I don't think that's on, by the way. That MCDU I shut it down just to simulate we were flying an aircraft that only had the one MCDU. And that's about it. All I can think to say, really. Terrain's quite handy here because I actually use the visual references. I take visual references from the terrain. There we go. To work my approaches out, because somewhere like Newcastle, there's a certain visual reference point which you can use for a turn final, and I know real world pilots use it as well. So I like the nice long final. Maintain about 0.4, 0, and then turn north across once you reach the that's Newcastle there. We're still on the high side. I'm just hoping we get level before center base. Oh god, 2,500, which is actually the altitude. Yeah, so we're approaching 10,000, so flying landing lights. I'm on, that's 8. Landing there, we're just got to warm up because it's quite a warm day in Newcastle. I think it was 16 degrees last checked. So just want to check that. It is currently at Newcastle 11 degrees. Surface winds are 1 knot from the north. QNH 1027. That's the time. We are very high. We'll make it down. Descending will be at 4 minutes from now. We'll be at the right altitude. 2 problems. But no radar background, so we've got plenty of space. Aircraft right back to the aircraft on the flight path. Just in the in-class there, that's the end. I need to upgrade my receiver from this FTX. Yeah, we're going down pretty fast now. Just gotta be careful when we get to the lower altitudes that we don't get too fast. Just nice side. So technical 350 now. Not sure why that heading that was on there the road. Nice detector. Just pop on the ice systems again. One. If that doesn't go away by the time we're on the ILS, the ice indication, I'm going to have to at 15 on top of the ground, which will go back up 30 knots. establish us at 160 knots. So that's quite slow. Let's gear down. And now just put my speed a little. It's a DME fix. Still 7 miles an hour. So about 4 miles I'll slow down and put 50 now. We are very light because this would normally be 600 miles an hour. That's per second.
2,500.
I think that's the speed I want. That echo is actually due to the sound improvement system I'm currently testing out. So, 5 miles I'm not going to soon to be right. That's about the speed I want to be at this stage of the approach. 600 feet per minute drop. That looks good, that looks good, that looks good. Everything looks good, look at that. Okay, we've got runway light burn through, so let's continue the approach. We go flat 15 now. Okay, we're going to just follow that approach. If we get more than one diamond, that's go around criteria, but no, we're catching it up again.
One thousand.
Line
Okay.
slow.
Hop.
Line slow.
Yep, that. A little bit low, but nothing too major. Okay, we are very low now. Slight descent. A bit of power, bit of power. Wallow, the aircraft wallows have just slightly this kind of flat attitude.
500.
Oops. A little bit just drifting because of the wind a little bit. It's a pretty calm wind though.
Plus 100. Minimums.
Continue approach.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Okay, I'm just going to bring us back in the center line. Okay, there is 80 knots. So this will come on. Flaps will come on. And transponder is staying on until we vacate. Just got a little bit of braking now. So, flight time, 1 hour and 4 minutes. Oh no, 1 hour precisely according to the systems. Okay, we'll be taking staff off our arrival. No formula required, I know stand force literally the one next to the average. Handling's by EasyJet time. Okay. Technically the same people do handling for EasyJet as do for handling for Flyme, so stopwatch is timing. APU generator comes on, start. Pitot heats all come off. That should be closed. Off, 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 off. To red. To off. The seatbelt sign can come off now. Transponder is off because this airfield doesn't use ASDEX. Well, it did use ASDEX, but yeah. That's 35 seconds. Stop stopwatch. EGT is below 357, yes. 1 off, 2 off. Rotating beacon light is out. Varsity boarding. Okay, folks, so that is the end of this video. Thanks for tuning in for Flybe Flight 148 from Exeter up to Newcastle. Quite an enjoyable flight for me. I learned quite a bit about the Dash and it brought a lot back to me. So, as I say, thanks for watching, folks. See you all in the next one. Bye bye.